Hi, Emily.
Hello.
So, Emily, what grade are you in?
Grade 10.
Grade 10. And what year did you start at WillowWood?
Grade 7.
Grade 7. Now, when you were in grade 8 and you're thinking about starting high school, what worried you the most about coming into high school?
Probably the workload.
The workload. In terms of just how much work there is or how hard it would be?
Both.
Okay. And do you still feel that way? Was it as bad as you thought it would be?
No, with the teacher's guidance, it actually helped a lot.
If I was going to be able to do the work, get it done on time, that was just my biggest concern.
Okay. And do you feel like those fears were warranted? Do you feel like it is that way in high school?
Not at all. It's actually a lot less scary than you might think. The teachers are so supportive. They'll help you get through everything.
But worried me the most was all the work that's probably going to come at me.
So were you worried that it was going to be a lot of work or that it was going to be really hard? Or
I think there's going to be a lot of work and it was going to be very hard.
Okay. And looking back now, was it as bad as you thought it was going to be?
Definitely the workload, because in middle school it was kind of like, even though we had more classes, the workload wasn't as much and you had more time to get it done in school than you do in high school most of the time.
I guess it was just more like pressure because you were going into high school. It was like not really, I feel like it's more pressure than it actually was.
Were you stressed about how much work there was or how hard it might be?
How hard it might be.
Well, it wasn't that really big of a change, especially being at the same school.
Yeah.
That you know the area and kind of have passed by teachers in the hallway.
I felt nervous.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know how the classes would be or how the teachers would communicate. But at the same time, I was also happy knowing that I'm going into my final years of school.
Was it as hard as you thought it would be?
To be honest, no, because the teachers made it less stressful.
What worried you the most?
I guess the workload.
Probably how hard the work was going to be.
Yeah.
How much work.
And how much work? And do you find that worry was justified? Is it really as bad as you thought it would be? Did you know any of the teachers in high school before you got to grade 9?
Half of them.
Half of them.
Yeah.
Do you find that made the transition easier?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But all teachers are nice, so if you don't know them, they're nice anyways.
Do you think having gone here to middle school made the transition easier to high school?
It did, knowing that the teachers were the same, that I would see a lot of my friends.
I did see them around. They
Mm-hmm.
always waved at me. So I felt really comfortable, but I did meet some new teachers, and they were amazing.
Okay. Were you familiar with any of the other high school teachers? Had you seen them before?
Yeah,
You find that made things a little bit easier?
definitely.
Okay.
I did. I've walked past many of them. I've also been in class with many of them.
Mm-hmm.
Andrew, I've walked past Walid before.
Mm-hmm.
Shoot names.
No, I was only familiar with some because of sports, but not really.
Okay. So you didn't know any teachers?
Well, I know one teacher.
Who's that? Who did you know in low school?
I think his name. Who was that guy?
Huh.
His name started with an S.
An S. Bald guy with a beard?
Steve.
Yeah. I know that guy.
I've seen them, but I didn't know who they were going to be or who they were.
Right.
But I've seen them.
Did that make it a little easier at least though?
Yeah.
Were you able to take all the courses you wanted to?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Do you feel like there wasn't enough variety, or was there enough variety
There
of
was
courses?
enough variety.
Cool. Did you feel like if you had difficulty with school, or if you had, difficulty with social emotional stuff, do you feel like you knew who to go talk to, or that you had people to talk
I believe I did. There's Dina.
Yeah.
She's always been good for that stuff.
Mm-hmm. What extracurricular activities, sports, clubs were you involved with?
I think we have one of the coolest music rooms ever, honestly. And I think we have a really cool music teacher who always encourages you to practice and just jam and really figure out what it is you want to do.
Jeff.
So yeah, Jeff is awesome.
Just a bunch of sports, and especially like socialing in the gym.
Mm-hmm.
Just a bunch of us playing around like volleyball and stuff at lunch.
This year, because of COVID, it shut down, but I did basketball with Fred on Thursdays,
Mm-hmm.
and I was going to do golf.
In school, I've done the cartooning club, and over the summer, the school did a cycling challenge to raise money for charity.
The Great Canadian.
The Great Canadian Cycle Challenge.
Yeah. And how did you find that?
I found it fun.
Yeah.
It definitely encouraged me to use my bike more than I already was.
And you did really well. You raised, I think, over $1,500
Yes, I believe so.
to fight children's cancer.
Mhm.
That's awesome. You gonna do it again next summer with me?
I hope so, yes.
How was the guidance department in terms of helping you with your application?
Very helpful, but you have to be proactive when you're with her. So you have to be the one who's like sending her emails, asking her to have appointments with you, or like setting up times.
Yeah.
And if you don't do that, it's not like, or at least in my experience, you have to kind of like get in there and do it yourself. But when you do get the appointment, or when you do get that time scheduled with her, she's really great. She's super helpful, and she kind of like made the whole process a lot easier.
Yes, I felt that they were very, very helpful and understanding.
Okay. Like what did they help you with?
Picking out the programs, what school would be best, figuring out what education that I need in order to get it, and with my anxiety, it made it easier for me.
Great, because now for my grade 12 year, I know exactly what to take, and I'm getting ahead in some of my other courses.
Awesome. And lastly, any words of advice for middle schoolers?
Don't be too worried. Everyone's nice, and the workload isn't as bad as I thought, so it's not as bad.
I think grade 9 and 10 are kind of for you to get a taste of what's happening. Like, I think in grade 9 and 10, universities don't care that much about your marks in grade 9 and 10. That doesn't mean that you should not try, but it kind of means that you should spend those years getting accustomed to what the flow of work is going to be like later on, so that when it gets into 11 and 12 and when things really start getting important, you're not overwhelmed by it. You've kind of used that time to prepare.
I would tell them to talk to a grade 9 and ask them, how is it like being in high school? Is it difficult? Ask for a lot of help. Don't be afraid to ask questions, and ask the teacher if you need to go to homework hub, and don't be afraid.
Just take it easy and just get your work done. Don't feel stressed. Ask questions. The teachers are there to help you.
Awesome.
I think my advice would be that if you ever need help, just ask your teachers and ask friends.
But go to TOS Homework Hub, or try your best to even sign up for TOS in one of your semesters, because that really helped me over the years.
Make friends.
Don't worry, it's gonna be fine. Just make some good friends and yeah.
So this is a document that I found in Jill's office, okay? And I believe that you wrote these things in grade 5. Okay, that's what Jill told me.
Yes.
Now, I'm going to read them to you, and I want you to tell me whether they are still true or not, okay? And I'm going to read it exactly the way you wrote it.
Okay.
Evelyn in grade 5. I feels like a family. Is that still true?
Very true.
So do you want to change that maybe now? Do you still feels like a family, or does it feel like a family?
Feels like
it
a
feels
it
like
feels
okay.
like a family.
Good, because for the past 10 years we had no idea what you were saying. Number 2, people are always nice. Is that still true? Are they always
Yes,
nice?
they are.
Okay. Everyone welcomes you every day. Still true?
Very true.
Okay. I feel confident. Still true?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not scared to get a question wrong. Still true?
Yes. I'm not scared to get a question wrong.
Maybe a little.
I'm not scared.
You're not scared?
I'm not that scared.
Okay. Good.
Okay.